I would suggest visiting some museums exhibiting paintings or sculptures to get an idea how the body of men and women is composed. You can also find some other solution too.
Bonjour chérie, I'm Patrick and this is TAZ, the Artisan's Zone channel. We are going to talk about understanding of body shape. And the reason I brought this topic up is that even before you start making your first pattern, you have to know how the human body is constructed. And this is a pretty significant subject. Right, it's time to begin. Firstly, we need to understand there are differences, even major ones, between women and men. Plus, there are children too. There are differences in proportions, builds and circumferences. Let's start with women. We all know this gesture, like this, roughly visualize the main women's features, and they are bust, waist and hips. They are the most important measurements to be taken to start to create the pattern for a dress, for example. Oh, there is so much to talk about, but I will stick to the basics. So let me scribble this for you. If you want to fit patterns perfectly, we have to include all these hollow parts of the body into our pattern. That means we need to create parts into patterns and they will have different depth and length. I believe this is pretty simple explanation in regards to women's silhouette. What's also important is to understand the women's silhouette, taking into account the different ages, disproportions, ethnicity. Obviously, if it comes to making patterns, there are standards in the fashion industry you need to follow, or even each fashion house or brand have their own standards. Now I want to change our subject and talk about men. Men's body form characterize this gesture, and the most important measurement is chest measurement. We still gonna need waist of hip measurements, but not as much as with women. There is not as big a big discrepancy between the waist and hips. We still be drafts on trousers, shirts or jackets, but not